Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Today is very exciting because we're going to concentrate on this month's new releases. So at the end of this month, 28th of November, this new collection is being released, and it's the double pierced collection, and we're starting with squares, circles and hearts, and I believe there'll be other shapes coming soon after. And today I'm going to make a card using the squares, and these are fabulous because if you look at them closely, you've got the pierced on two sides with the cut line in the middle. So what that means is when you cut out, your waist will have a pierced design and your actual cutout will have a pierced design. So if you're doing apertures, it's perfect because you'll get a pierced effect around the outside of your aperture as well as on your actual die cut. And in this collection, in this actual collection of the squares, you've got 14 dies, all various sizes, and the largest one is 194 millimeters by 194 millimeters, and the smallest one is 17 by 17 millimeters. So perfect for all of your, this is going to fit an 8x8 card perfectly, right down to as small as you like. And to go along with them, we have the beautifully beaded collection. I don't know if you can see these. I've got the squares again. There's going to be hearts and circles released as well to go with the matching dies. And this is what they look like. Aren't they fabulous? So the beauty of them is with your beads, or your pearls, should I say, from Sentimentally Yours, they will match or fit perfectly. The small ones, the 3mm, 5mm and 8mm, will all fit perfectly if you wanted to stick them on top of these. Isn't that fabulous? Right, let's get making a card. So what I've got so far, let's chuck that on the floor. I've got a 7x7 card blank, 7x7 card blank, and I've gone ahead and cut out the green card, and I believe, let me just see if I can find that for you. It is the gorgeous luster card, and it's rich green luster card, and that's 290 GSM, and it's beautiful. It's kind of like a shimmery, perfect for a Christmas card. Doesn't have to be Christmas, can be used any time. And I was going to put that on there like so. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to do that with 2mm foam tape, and you can stick it on just with glue if you want to. You don't have to use the foam tape, but I'm going to give it a little bit of height. So just around all the four sides. And then I'm going to put some across the center, just so it doesn't sag in the middle. And then take off the backing tape. Like that, all the way around and in the middle. And then if you want to, you don't have to, you can put some glue. I'm using Pritt Stick, but you can use your Sentimentally Yours PVA if you prefer. And I'm just putting that onto the foam tape just to give me a bit more time to position it. And then just hold it up and pop that down like so. And if it's not correct, as that wasn't, you've got time to lift it and do it again. And that's that one. And then I've gone ahead and cut out a red layer, and that one is using the Luster card again, but this one is Imperial Red. And again, this is beautifully shiny and shimmery, perfect for Christmas card. But before I stick that down on there, I'm going to pop, I've also got some of the linen card, and this one is 270 GSM, pure white linen texture card, and I'm going to pop that down with glue, so the PVA glue. Oh, actually, no, let's not do that yet. I'm going to do some stamping on it first. Just bear with me. Pop that to one side. What I thought I might do is stamp around the outside, and that's going to be my sentiment. That's the plan anyway. And I'm going to use these Christmas stamps, just saying festive border sentiments. I'm not sure if these are still available on the Honey Pot Crafts website. I'm using the very top one, have a very merry happy Christmas. I'm a bit croaky still. I've had a chest infection and I've not been great, but who wants to hear about that? How boring is that? So let's go ahead, and I'm using my stamping platform for this one, and I have already lined the stamp up in the correct position, and I'll show you what I've done. So just make sure that that's touching the corners and that it's all secure. And because I want the stamp to go around the edge here, I've already lined it up. And just to make sure it was in the center, I used a ruler. You can use these grids on here, but just to be doubly sure, I used a ruler. And I just made sure that there was the same amount of distance, 1.5 inches that side and 1.5 inches that side, so that we get it perfectly central. I'll just bring those down a bit. And I thought we'd do red ink. Now it's difficult to find a good red ink to stamp with. The VersaFine Clair, you've got the strawberry colour red, but it's a bit too pinky. With the Distress Oxide, you've got Candied Apple, Festive Berries. But what I found a perfect Christmassy colour is the Lumberjack Plaid in the Distress Oxide. So that's what I'm going to use, and hope that the colour match is good. So I'm just going to tap ever so gently on here. And then just smooth down. And the beauty of using your stamping platform is that if it doesn't come off first time, you can go back in. And sometimes with the Distress Oxide, it doesn't always work first time because of the nature of the ink. You may need to go back in a second time. That's usually why when I'm using stamps, I do prefer to use the VersaFine Clair, because they give a crisper image But sometimes if you want the, you know, for the colour match, you do have to go with another ink, the Distress Oxide. That's better. That's better. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is just turn this card around. Just move my magnets out of the way for a moment. And I'm just going to turn this card around like so and place the magnets back to hold the card in position like that. And then we're going to go again. Lots of light tapping. If you get any on your stamping platform that you don't want there, just give it a wipe off. It shouldn't go on your card, but just to be on the safe side, because it is bright red, that would just be my luck. She says a bit more, being a bit heavy-handed with it. And then we're going to stamp down here. You just want a little bit of pressure, not too much, and you just want to give it a few seconds to grab onto the card. And because it is the linen texture card too, as I say, you might need to go in again. And I'm just going to go in once more. Just wipe around and get red ink all over my hands. Just smooth it down gently. That's looking good. And then we're going to do that again. And turn the card around. So we're going around the 4 edges. Try and avoid getting your magnets on top of the inked area if you can, because they probably won't be completely dry yet. And then stamp again. I think this is going to look quite effective to have your sentiment around the outside. It's just something different, isn't it? Another bit. These new, oh, hold on, let's get rid of some of that. I've gone a bit mad, haven't I, with the ink? So I think these new dies are going to be really, really popular. So if you haven't managed to get yours already, I wouldn't hold on too long before you get them. Because as you know, with anything that Phil releases, everything just sells out so quickly because they are all so fabulous. And if you like to collect all of his different collections, there are going to be more shapes. So you don't want to miss out on these ones. The square ones are always popular. Everyone likes to make a square card, don't they? I think it's wonderful that we've got the squares, the circles, and the hearts this time. Who knows what's coming next or when they're coming. Last one at the bottom. One more time. I'm going to pop the lid back on now. And so that does look like a really good red, doesn't it? That's the lumberjack plaid. Is it plaid? 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 I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but hey ho. You know what I mean. And then just give that a quick clean. And then I'm going to get rid of that being red. That's bound to go everywhere, including on me. Wipe my fingers. And then take this out and I'll lift it up to the camera so you can see. Pop that back in. Get to that. I'll put my stamp away in a moment. So let's have a look at this. How does that look? Can you see that all right? Looks good, doesn't it? And then it's all the way around, so whichever way you have it, being a square, is going to look beautiful. And then, like I say, if I bring my card back in, just move all those bits. This is going to go on there, and that's going to go on there. Yeah, so I'm going to use ordinary glue, I think the PVA glue, to glue this down on here. I think that's the best idea. And just using the Sentimentally Yours PVA to glue that down. If you want to put it on foam tape, you can, or glue gel. I think because I'm using the 2mm for the green, and I'm going to put the red on the 2mm, I want to keep this one flat. Trying to avoid getting glue everywhere. And then just line that up without touching it with my fingers too much. Perfect. And then I'm just going to get a piece of kitchen roll just to pop over the top for a moment, to avoid me touching it with my fingers, and in case the glue, it's not the glue, the ink, in case the ink isn't completely dry. I've got my water here with me in case I have a coughing fit, but hopefully I won't. Yeah, there's been a lot of bugs and things going around, and I happen to get it, which is really annoying, but hey ho. So that's going to go on there like so. And like I say, I'm going to put that on. Let's put the lid on this one so I don't dry out my glue. I'm going to put it on the 2mm foam tape. All the way round. Like this. And then we'll do the bit in the middle again. And take the backing tape off. And then I'll put some more of my glue on to help me get it in the right position. And it doesn't really matter which way up it goes because they're all going to look the same from whichever way around you look at it. And then just smooth that down. And that's it. How does that look so far? That's good. Okay, so then what I thought I'd do is with these beaded, let me just bring, what did I do with it? Bear with me. Here it is. So with the beautifully beaded squares, I've cut the largest one out in the rich green, and I thought I could just glue that on there, around there like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that with the PVA glue, and I've just decanted some Sentimentally Yours PVA glue into this container. It's just got a finer nozzle. It just makes it a little bit easier for me. But you use whatever you have to hand. You can use the brush glue if you want to. So a bit of glue all the way, and then just eyeball it roughly where you think you want it. And drop that down. And then just gently go around and just make sure all those dots are stuck down. Like so. That looks really effective, doesn't it? And then my next layer is going to be this one, but I'm going to go ahead and glue this section to it first. Actually, I think what I might do is glue this to this first. So this one that I've cut out, if I show you the dies, it is that one there. So it's the fourth one in from the outside that I've cut out to fit this one. So with my glue again, just on the beaded section, I'm applying glue. You can apply it to the whole, like these bits here if you want to, but I just think that's a little bit faffy. They're so tiny. I don't think it's necessary. I think they'll stick perfectly well without having to apply them to those bits as well. And it is quite fiddly. So just to save yourself the hassle or to save me the hassle. That's what I've done. My hands are really shaky today. It must be all the medication I'm on. Just going to move that a little bit. Just take your time. It's worth taking a few seconds. And then this is going to go flat onto the red card with the PVA glue. Put my pin back in. Put my pin back in this one. Really don't want my glue to dry up. And then pick this up gently and position it onto the red. Get rid of the glue off my finger. Like so. And that's going to go, sorry, that's going to go there. But before I do that, it's not completely dry, so I'm going to place it under something heavy. And in the meantime, I'm going to do my flower. So I've got poinsettias. I've got the pierced festive poinsettia from Sentimentally Yours. And I've not gone with the bigger one. I've started with this one and then cut out a few layers down. So I'm just going to put that together. And what I normally do is just use a bone folder to curl back the petals. And I've got two of the same size as the base, and then I've gone smaller. Now the reason I've gone two of the same size for the base is that when it's put together, I like it to look uniform at the base, and sometimes if you graduate the sizes, then it doesn't look completely uniform. And that's just for the base one. It's not for all of them. It's just the base. But you don't have to do that. You just do whatever you prefer. That's the beauty of crafting, isn't it? And card making. It's your own interpretation, what makes things look right for you. And just pop that in the middle, and then a little bit of glue just in the center, and then offset that a bit, push that down, a bit more glue in the center here for the next layer. And again, off center, push that down, bit more glue. And then we've got this one. And then the last stinky one. And just pop that in there. Just move that round a bit. And pop that in there like so. Oh, looks pretty, doesn't it? can't see my camera very well. I hope you can see that. And then the pearls that I'm going to use are the berry red. And I've already got some out in my little trays. And I think I'm going to put the 5mm one in the centre of here rather than the 8mm. I think the 5mm one will be the right size. Let me just get, this is not playing ball for some reason. I might need to refill it actually. Might be getting a bit low. Just pop that back on. And then with my pickup tool, I'm just going to place that in there. So don't push down with these pickup tools because you'll damage the wax tip. So just put it into position. And then I usually push down with, oh, not like that. Usually push down with my fingers. When you've got it in the right position. My fingers are all sticky, which is not good, is it? Push it down with that for now. Oh, for goodness sake, Angela, what are you doing? I think I need to leave that to one side to dry. Just pop those pearls back, and I'll come back to that flower in a moment. Bring my card back in, and the other topper that we're going to place in there. That's dry now. And then I just want some 3D foam on the back of here. And as I say, I'm sticking with the 2mm for this one. If you don't want to use foam tape, if you want to keep yours flat to make it easier to post, it will still look really good. The dies are so beautiful that whether you do a raised card or a flat card, they're going to look amazing. Arfiel is very clever with his designs. I don't know how he comes up with all these ideas, but I'm glad he does. Keeps us crafters happy. Get rid of that bit out of there. And then just my usual glue to help me with positioning. Gives me a few more minutes or seconds. And pop that into place. Beautiful. Isn't that looking good? That's looking really effective, isn't it? Yeah. So then what I'm going to do is pop the flower in the centre like so, but I want to let that dry for a bit longer. And I don't think it's completely dry yet, and I don't want my pearl to fall out of the centre of the flower. But I'm going to bring my pearls back in and around here where I can reach them. These beautiful circles are perfect to put your pearls on. So you could, if you want to, put a pearl over every single one And I have done that on a couple of cards, but I think with this one, I'm going to be a bit random. So these large circles actually fit the 8mm. The little diddy ones fit the 3mm, and the other ones fit the 5mm. I might put a big one there actually as well. Oh, okay, let's start sticking some down so we can see what they look like. So that one on there, that one on there, the little diddy one of those on there. How beautiful does that look? Isn't that a really clever concept? Don't you think? I love it. I'm going to put another one on here because I can. A big one on here. And then you just go round and put your pearls wherever you want them. So you use as many or as little as you like. It is so good. It's quite therapeutic actually, just sticking the pearls on. Oh, I missed one up there. You didn't tell me. Or maybe you did. Maybe you're shouting at me. And I'll put a little one here. I'm going to put a big one on here. Big one there. And then a little diddy one on here. What do you think? Is that enough on there? And then of course we've got this one here. How exciting. I love it. Right, so I have to put a big one on here. I just have to. Why is that not coming out? Have I got an airlock in there? Bear with me, sorry. That's better. And then I want one of those on there. Let's put these on to get us started. So, big one. And one of those. And I could do this all night, just sticking pearls on. I love it. And then I think I want one on there, one on there, and one on there. Put the larger one on first, and the two little bitty ones. Oh, yummy, yummy. I'm going to put one up here as well. getting carried away now. Am I doing too many? No, I don't think I am. Oh, how lovely. I love it. Right, just move those over there. Oh, how gorgeous. Look. Isn't it beautiful? Love it, love it. And then, all I've got to do then is put my poinsettia in the centre. So I'm going to use some glue gel to do that. Put my syringe. Just pop that in there, like so. Oh my goodness. And that's that. What do you think? That looks really good. And the beauty of this card is it's a 7x7 and I designed it as a tent fold, but because the sentiment goes all the way around the edge, you could have it that way round and it would be just as good. It doesn't matter, however you want it. Love it. I don't think it needs any foliage. I'm not going to put any foliage on it. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to be tempted to put any gems up here, pearls rather. I'm going to leave those. I like the white space because it's a linen card. I like the texture. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it like that. So, I hope you liked that. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel because that helps me know that you're watching and that you want to see some more. Please like my video and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. So, thank you all for watching. Bye for now.